Welcome, Islanders, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews from the Geek Salad Podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And tonight we've got an interesting one for you. We are talking about a current documentary about a retro movie. As we discussed, Jaws at 50, which was released the day of Jaws' 50th anniversary release. Available on National Geographic, Disney Plus, Peacock,
and Hulu.
It's also available on. It's also available if you already own a digital copy of Jaws. It was automatically updated into your extras.
Mm.
As we discovered, utilizing Fandango, Movies Anywhere, It's there.
Nice.
Which is really freaking cool.
Yeah, which is really, really cool because this is a really cool documentary.
This is it's great because it does a great job of replacing the documentary that came on the initial Blu-ray of Jaws, which is ancient.
Yeah.
I mean, that documentary was made when it was filmed when Roy Scheider was still alive.
Oh, wow. I did not realize that.
That one was filmed when Roy Scheider was still alive. And it doesn't have as much context because he had died by the time it was released, and he'd been dead for a while. So this is kind of like one of those documentaries they've been sitting on for a while. So doing this at 50, I feel not only gave us a better appreciation for the overall making of the movie. I mean, we did get clips from that earlier Jaws documentary in at 50.
Yeah.
But we also, which is, great because, God knows I couldn't live a day without having to hear Richard Dreyfuss's boring "The Shark is Working" speech.
What's great about this one, though, is that someone else does this story of Richard Dreyfuss' story.
Right, but they did cut to it as well, though.
Yeah.
The shark is working. The boat is sinking.
Which I hadn't heard that part before.
You're right. But it was nice to really get a deeper dive into the overall making of the movie. And because you and I are New Englanders, seeing, the fact that there were, 6 members of the cast who are not from Martha's Vineyard, and everybody else who appeared in that movie was.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite, there were a lot of characters in that movie that I was like, I've never seen her in anything else. And then I was like, oh, no, wait, she was from an island. She was from the island. She's just a really good actress.
Yeah. And which is really cool, too. And the people who appeared in the movie had a real affinity for being part of history, of film history.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it this time around, I was keeping an eye on what you had mentioned when you started watching it.
Yes.
There was not a lot of conversation about John Williams' music in this.
Yeah, I watched the copy on Disney Plus.
Right.
And they mentioned John Williams' movie, and they do talk about it a little bit. But I noticed that it was very noticeable when they showed like some of the clips from the movie. It was sans music. It was just the film,
right?
And you and I, who are both huge Jaws fans, I know what music is supposed to be playing there. I can hear it in my head. Yeah. I'm not hearing on the TV.
Right. And that's part of it. I'm not sure why they did that. It's weird too because this was a Universal production that Nat Geo and Disney Plus got to get.
Yeah.
But it was on Peacock as well, like I mentioned. I think part of the thing might be that they just released this John Williams documentary earlier in the year.
That is
so
true.
If you really want to get kind of the down and dirty on Jaws, that might be the better documentary to watch. Which I've seen. It's an excellent documentary.
I still have not seen that one yet.
Oh. It's worth it. It is definitely worth it.
It's one I want to see. Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like guys like Ben Gardner. Ben Gardner was like the village idiot of Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Like basically, he was apparently Robert Shaw actually kind of hung out with him for like a full week or so.
Oh, I would.
And so pretty much most of Robert Shaw's Quint's, just kind of his offhand cuff remarks. Those are taken straight from the guy. I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, neither do I. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. He's just a real life Quint. He kind of is Kurt.
Yeah.
I enjoyed. I enjoyed watching that information about it. I loved seeing. Again, it's the affinity that the cast, the people who showed up in the cast had for it. We all know that this was not an easy shoot for Steven Spielberg. This is the first time we kind of heard about his mental breakdowns.
By the way, the guy's name was Craig Kingsbury.
Craig Kingsbury, okay.
Yeah, because he actually, he was Ben Gardner. So when he said why you get them in the rocks? I mean, it's like that was just straight up. That was completely ad-lib. That was his entire line.
Yep. But I think that it's one of those things where we've never really heard about the trauma that was that Spielberg went through in making this movie.
Yeah.
We've always known that this was a troubled shoot, young director with his first big budget movie, and this could have ended his career. There's that anecdote that he had about the about that actor who was just like, "You're never going to work in Hollywood again," and he felt comfortable saying that to him.
Yeah. And the fact that he would like for years after the movie, he would just go onto that boat on the Universal lot, just sit in that bench and cry.
Yeah.
It's like,
that was rough too. Considering his next movie after Jaws was Close Encounters, I think.
Yeah, 78.
Close Encounters is a weird one because I know it was released in 77, but my brain wants to tell me it was released in 78.
Yeah, like I just said, came out in 78 because for me, I always just kind of think at 78.
Star Wars is 77, Close Encounters is 78, and actually it's interesting because if you go into I'm actually going to go into the 1977 Academy Awards here because I think both Spielberg and Lucas were nominated for Best Director that year.
Yeah. There was I did not realize that the kid that played Michael Brody had passed away.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Let's never forget the movie he made after Close Encounters. One of Kurt's favorite, 1941.
Yeah.
Kurt, I am not at all surprised to hear you say that.
I haven't seen 1941 in ages. Probably in 41 years. I don't know. It's been ages.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Since I've watched it. All right, I'm going in right now because I want to see the nominees list for Best Director here. Okay. And who lost to Woody Allen that year. Okay, so Woody Allen, Steven Spielberg, Fred Zinnemann, George Lucas, and Herbert Ross.
And Woody Allen won for
Annie Hall.
Yeah, I've never seen Annie Hall.
Movie. What's that?
I've never seen Annie Hall, but Close Encounter is good. It is by no means his best movie.
It's very much a Spielberg movie that can be. You have to be in the right mood for it. Otherwise, it's a slog to get through.
Yeah,
because there are moments of absolute brilliance in it, and you can tell it's through and through. You can tell that's a Spielberg film.
Yeah,
but it's over long. There's an extended cut, which I think adds quite a bit, but it's still a bit of a slog to get through. You have to be in the right mood.
Yeah, the one and only time I ever saw it, I was way too young to understand any of it, so it was just boring as hell for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually take a look real quick to see where Close Encounters is streaming right now. It is streaming nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I own it on DVD somewhere, so I should find it. But yeah, with Jaws, I mean, we've raved about Jaws for years and years and years. For you and I, it's one of our favorite movies.
It is in my top 3 favorite movies.
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite Spielberg movies.
Yeah. I know this is kind of weird to say, but I think this actually might be my favorite Spielberg movie.
It might be mine too.
I mean,
I have to really think about that, but
yeah,
it's either this or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I mean, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Last Crusade, both are up there, but I don't know, there's something about just the raw skill that Spielberg puts on screen in Jaws.
Jaws puts me in a good place.
Yeah.
It really puts me in it. Same with Raiders, but it's a very different type of place that I go into.
Yeah.
When I watch Raiders, because when I saw Raiders, I actually got to see it in the theater. I was 3 years old when Jaws came out, and I was terrified of the marketing. The marketing itself, I didn't see Jaws till as in junior high, and that was in a music class. So.
Yeah, I probably first saw Jaws maybe 20 years ago, honestly.
For the first time? Really?
Yeah. I first saw it when I was probably in college or at least in high school. Because the first memory of a Jaws film that I have is of Jaws 3.
Yeah.
Seeing like the dead body in the in those tunnels. And that part just scared my like 3 or 4 year old self so much that I never bothered watching any of the Jaws movies until like I was finally in the high school and I was like, I've got to watch this movie. And it instantly became one of my all time favorites.
Yeah,
because
it is definitely on the list
of.
It's definitely one of those movies that is on the list of must watch movies. You need to watch Jaws. None of us have. I love for Jaws the Revenge. And we reviewed, no, that's very true. And that's kind of one of the things about Jaws' legacy that pisses me off about those sequels, is that they were all slapdash. The one that came the closest to feeling like Jaws was 2, and that's only because it was filmed in the 70s.
Yeah.
Everything else just was ridiculous. And again, because you and I come from New England, my grandparents all lived in Rhode Island. I spent summers on the Rhode Island beaches.
Yeah.
So that was very familiar to me. And as an adult, now that my grandparents are no longer with us, it's like I get that nostalgia.
Yeah.
And when we go to the Cape, I get that nostalgia for Jaws.
Yeah.
It's great, too, because my kids love James loves Jaws.
Oh, good.
Absolutely loves Jaws. I mean, Scarlett loves Jaws, too. It was funny because for the 50th anniversary, it was the night of the 50th anniversary, and I'm like, where are we going to watch for a movie? I'm like, we're watching Jaws. It's 50th anniversary. We have to watch it. Autumn hadn't seen it in decades.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, beaches, grew up with beaches, grew up being scared of Jaws. And she watched it. She's like, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting because, I always say there's no such thing as a perfect movie. Every movie has its flaws. But when a movie comes as damn close as something like Jaws does, because sometimes there are bits that are silly. Some of the shark animatronics were questionable, even though I did like that they were talking to those marine biologists about when they do that jumping out of the water, and that wasn't completely out of left field, that the shark could actually jump up onto the ship. Yeah.
I still remember like one of the last times I went to Martha's Vineyard, I actually saw the dock. I'm like, wait a minute, what? And then I just remember the scene where in Jaws when the 4th of July ferry comes in. I'm like, that's the dock.
Yep.
That is the very dock.
Yep.
Made me so happy.
It's been forever since I've been to Martha's Vineyard. It's been about it's been about 20 years or so.
I don't know when the last time I was on it was, but it was sometime after I saw Jaws anyway.
Okay, yeah, Jim's daughter was an infant because we joined him and Rebecca on Martha's Vineyard for a weekend. And that's when we went.
Oh, and she's in college now, so.
Yeah, she's in college now, so it's been a long time
Yeah.
since that happened. And with every picture of Jim and I, especially with holding the baby, it was like, oh look, the state let us adopt. But it was, I mean, what I really enjoyed about it was the fact that nobody told any of the Robert Shaw's a horrific drunk stories, which fine, they whitewashed that because, but it was really interesting to hear the whole thing about how he agonized over the Indianapolis speech.
Yeah, and I mean, the closest that came was the fact that he got pretty much plastered when he did that first take on the speech.
Yeah,
and then he came back to him the next day. It's like, I don't remember any of it. Please let me do it again.
Yeah. No, and it was really it was nice to hear that. It was nice to hear. It was interesting about this documentary. I'm just thinking about this now that it doesn't, other than Shaw, it doesn't really focus on the performers other than the Islanders.
Yeah.
Who showed up. And I mean, Lorraine Gary is there because she's the only one left.
Well, him and her and Hendricks.
Hendricks, yeah. Well, and some of the other cast members. But yeah, no, I'm talking like from the people they imported from Hollywood.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. No, she is like the only one of the adults left. And it was nice to see that she still holds fond memories of it, From what I could tell, I don't know if anybody really had anything cross to say about Roy Scheider.
No, I mean, yeah. I did like the fact that they brought in Ian Shaw.
Yes.
Robert Shaw's son.
Right. Well, a lot of that is because, that's his, realistically speaking, if you bring up the name Robert Shaw, there's he was in dozens and dozens of movies. But what do people remember him for? They remember him from like his second to last movie ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
the next Benchley movie he did killed him.
The Deep, right?
The Deep, yeah. The Deep was his next book and his next movie, and that's essentially what caused the heart failure.
Actually, speaking of Benchley, I'm like the fact that they brought in his wife and his son and daughter.
I was just going to say that it was really nice to get the Benchleys' point of view on everything, especially because, again, in the older documentary, we didn't get that. We got a Hollywood documentary about the making of an American movie classic.
Yeah.
This went deeper. For an hour and a half, we went super deep on learning about the book, learning about the cover. I love the story about the cover.
Yeah.
And the fact that it mainly became a paperback sensation. It wasn't so much of a hardcover sensation. But when they changed the artwork on the cover, which essentially is what we got for the movie poster.
Yeah. Yeah, because actually the one time I recall reading the book was back in high school, and I got it out of the Concord Library.
Yeah.
And the cover that I read was the little penis with the mouth.
The penis cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really liked hearing about that. It was interesting too that they did go into the fact that, because of the success of the book and the success of the movie, there was legislation that ended up having to be drawn up because people were hunting sharks because they were deemed as being dangerous.
Yeah. I like the fact that they admit that there was an initial surge of shark hunting. But after that, it kind of led more towards a lot more shark conservation and shark understanding, which is fantastic.
I'm all for. I think that's a great idea. And it was nice that they didn't shy away from that.
Yeah.
If I had any real qualms about this documentary, I felt like it took forever to wind up. I feel like, when you get to your in summary portion of a documentary, you think of it you think about it like a term paper. You have your introduction, you have all the meaty stuff in the middle, you have the pre-production, you have the production, you have the post-production.
Yeah.
You have the legacy, And after the Legacy, then we continued going into Legacy and coming, like in summary, here's 15 additional minutes of stuff.
I think what I like most about it though is almost because of that is like, because this is the most recent documentary. It's a fantastic documentary. It goes more into like the pre-production and the post-production. It covers the production of it, but not as thoroughly as like maybe some of the earlier documentaries have.
Right,
I like
and it was almost everything was from Spielberg's perspective as the director, so we could see. There's that great line he has too when they're like, the ship is sinking, save the actors, and I hear a production assistant go, "Fuck the actors, save the sound crew."
He just got all the equipment over his head as it's going down. But yeah, I kind of see it as like this documentary as like almost complementing the older documentaries. So, like, if you want to learn more about the making of the movie itself, go watch those ones. If you want to learn more about the context about everything combined, this one is the one to go to. Right.
I mean, it's one of the better, like, alternative film documentaries. And that's kind of a rarity. I'm still waiting for like the ultimate like Star Wars documentary, something like this that maybe we'll get when Star Wars turns 50.
Wasn't that like the Empire of Dreams?
Empire of Dreams had nothing to do. It wasn't just about Star Wars. It was about Lucas.
Oh, okay.
And that's the thing. And I think it's a very good film documentary, but if we're just focusing on Star Wars, and there's been tons of like little, side bits for Star Wars. It was a really good one on Netflix a few years ago where they were mainly talking to some of the side characters. Yeah, I'm thinking 2027.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, hopefully we'll still have both Ford and Hamill around by that point.
Hamill ain't going nowhere. That guy's immortal.
And Lucas too.
Yeah, and Lucas. Yeah, Lucas looks like he's getting healthier, which is good because I don't think he's got that frog's neck anymore.
Honestly, not having to deal with Star Wars every single day is probably a lot less stress on him.
Oh my god! Yeah, exactly. He's de-aging now because he doesn't have to deal with that nonsense. He only has to deal with you should have never left.
He showed up at Comic-Con for the first time this year.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he come in riding on the back of the nerd kid from Robot Chicken?
Probably, yeah.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
He said the thing. He said the thing. It's tough because it really is hard to talk about documentary without getting going note by note with this. But it is. You're right. This is a good compliment piece to the older documentary, which, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking it up right now, might also be on your digital video extras. Well, I mean, actually, just either last year or the year before, I saw this really nice documentary on YouTube. I think it was like an unofficial documentary, but it was so good. So, I mean, there are plenty of documentaries on Jaws out there.
Yeah. It's just called The Making of Jaws. It's a 2 hour and 2 minute documentary. So it's actually a half hour longer than the Jaws at 50.
Yeah.
That was but it is old.
It's a nice, very crisp hour and a half on this one.
Yeah. Actually, and this is, I'm going to advocate getting a digital copy of this movie. There are a ton of extras.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are about sharks. There are a lot about the, there's one on the Indianapolis that's like 6 minutes long. Storyboards, trailer.
And I think both Andy and I can attest the transfer of the Blu-ray / 4K version of Jaws is one of the most clean transfers I've ever seen.
The blues are blue. The greens are greens. Whites are whites.
They did the hell out of this transfer.
Considering, how like silty 70s film used to look.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the transfer is amazing.
Yeah.
So if this does nothing, you know, even if you're not a fan of documentaries, I recommend checking it out. But also go back and check out Jaws.
Yeah.
Which I think is streaming on Peacock right now as well.
Well, also, on Saturday the 6th of September, it's going to be shown at the IMAX outside the New England Aquarium.
Really?
Actually, the 4th, 5th, and 6th is being shown
Fourth,
there.
fifth, so this weekend. It's
next weekend.
next week. Yeah, you're right. Next weekend. Oh, cool.
So I'm probably going to go and see it on the 6th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I've actually seen it the last 2 years in that theater, and it is such a good cut.
I've never seen it on the big screen.
It is worth it.
I mean, I've seen Blazing Saddles on the big screen. I've never seen Jaws.
I've never seen Blazing Saddles on the big screen, but
it was a whole thing that we don't need to get into right now.
I believe the very first time Jonna saw it, we went and saw it in the theater out in California.
Oh, and speaking of which, the restoration of the shark.
Yeah.
Yes. They found Bruce.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
I went to the Academy Museum and it is there. It is.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
I'm just
glad that they had somebody who could put that much care into restoring. He said he had the original teeth.
The molds for the original teeth.
The molds for the original teeth. Yeah. Of what? It's really cool. I mean, it's a good looking model.
It is. It is huge too.
Oh, I'm sure. You only really get. I mean, other than on the Orca, you only get like perspective of it when it's kind of in the estuary.
Yeah.
And there's that girl that's yelling shark, because that's the only time you actually see its. You kind of see its nose, its dorsal, and its tail, and you get an idea for scale.
I love the fact that like Spielberg says, like they had like the 15-foot one. It's like, that's not big enough. 35-foot, no, that's that makes it an entirely different monster movie. 25-foot, oh, that's a sweet spot.
All right, so let me tell you it's a shark story then. Over vacation when we were in Portland, Maine, we went on a whale watch. We didn't see any whales, but we did see a shark.
Oh, nice.
It was I don't remember the name of the shark itself, but it was a baleen shark.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I mean, when you look at the thing, it's got like the Lovecraftian mouth, which is what nightmares are made out of.
Yeah.
But there is something I was telling everybody about this. It's one thing when you go to an aquarium and you see a shark. Like a couple of years ago, we went to Atlantis in the Bahamas in Nassau, and they have an aquarium there. And you can walk under, and you could like look eye to eye with the shark, and you can be like, oh, there are water slides where when you go down the slide, you go through a shark tank. I mean, obviously you're safe in a tube, but you go through a shark tank. That is not scary at all. What is scary to me is seeing the outline from above the water. If you're standing and looking down at the water and you see that outline, that is one of the most terrifying things you can see.
Oh, trust me, I've been on a whale watch before. I saw whales, I saw dolphins, but I would love to see a shark in the wild.
Yeah,
especially one of the larger sharks.
Ironically, we saw sharks from our balcony in our cabin.
Really?
Like we looked out in the morning, it's like I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, how much did we spend on that whale watch? But yeah, so everything that they did see, again, no whales, but all on the other side of the ship. I was just too busy getting seasick to do anything about that. But yeah, I really enjoyed this documentary.
Yes.
If you own a copy of Jaws on digital, you already have it, which I think is amazing, and I think it's kind of cool they did that. Otherwise, Disney Plus, Nat Geo, and Peacock should have it for you. I definitely recommend this, especially if you're a Jaws fan.
Absolutely. Jaws fan or a fan of cinema. I mean, it was the very first blockbuster. This movie definitely is classified as one that changed movies forever.
This is, exactly. And before that point, The Godfather was the top grossing film of all time.
And this
But
one blew it away.
It didn't change the way people went to movies.
Yeah.
People went to go see The Godfather, obviously, but not to the scale and the extent that they came to see Jaws, and then 2 years later for Star Wars.
Yeah, there's a reason why they call this movie the very first blockbuster.
Yes, because it just is amazing.
Yeah.
So now we want to know what are your thoughts? Have you seen this documentary? If not, are you gonna go see it? Leave a comment below. Let us know. Also, give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because reasons. If you
because we're your happy thing.
Yes, exactly. Speaking of happy thing, Mike and I host a little podcast called Geeks Out. You can check that out wherever you get your podcasts. In about 15 minutes, we're actually going to go live on this very channel. So if you're watching us live, stay here, okay? Because we're going to be back with Joe and Catherine, and we are actually going to be talking about our happy moments, our little bonbons.
Yeah, stuff that brought us joy this year.
That brought us joy in this utterly shitty year. So, we're talking about pop culture, maybe new, maybe old, stuff that we discovered, but something that is kind of keeping us sane and keeping us happy and just giving us those little endorphin rushes that we need. So again, stay here if you're watching live. If you are watching live and you're like, hey, my friends would like this, send them the link.
Yeah.
Yeah, get it on the chat, just like Kurt did tonight.
Yes. Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, thank you, Kurt. And I hope you've watched this documentary. Also, if you like what we do, you can follow us on the socials. We are at Geek Salad Podcast on Facebook and at Geek Salad Radio on Blue Sky. So you can check us out there. And don't forget, when you subscribe, you get everything, including the podcast, both the live cast and the pro cut, which I think Mike said he's going to try to get done this weekend because he's got the whole long weekend.
Yes, we have. I've got Monday off from work, and I'm taking an extra couple of days, so
nice.
I got plenty of time to work on this.
Yeah, I am like chock-a-block with rehearsals like this weekend. So show opens in the middle of next month. So so thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth and be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Da-da.